Welcome to the backyard portion of the food forest. We had a bit of a rough start to spring this year with a lot of hot and cold weather. But now that things have warmed up, we're starting to see some real changes. This Guardiola is on its way out, but it's still beautiful. And it makes its home right underneath the pomegranate tree. We've had lots of bees and hummingbirds already visiting the tree, and you can see the start of fruit. Additionally, we have 5 varieties of grapes growing all along our back fence. They're at different stages in their development, with the 2 far to the right the most mature and already setting fruit, and the 3 to the left are still growing in their first year. Here we have a look at our 1-year-old hugel mounds. They're a bit smaller, but they're already providing a lot of growth. This year I really focused on companion planting. This is Borage, and it's a great companion plant because it provides nutrients to the plants that it is grown next to, and the leaves can be used to fertilize the soil in a chop and drop method. Also, the flowers are edible. Here's a quick look at our zucchini plant. You can see here salvia and cucumbers. And now, a yellow crookneck squash that is already producing prolifically, next to some sorrel, marigolds, and a Berkeley tie-dye tomato. Just check out the strange shape of that flower. Here are 1,500-year-old cave beans, a pole bean, with vines as long as 12 feet. We'll let them dry on the vine and harvest in the fall. Here are the lettuce beds. You can see that often we need to give them shade in the afternoon so they don't get fried by our Central Valley sun. The big bushy thing is oregano. This mound we just put in this year. It's twice the size of the others. You can see it's not producing quite as much. Some of the nitrogen in these early mounds get tied up in decomposing the wood. But we still found last year that the baby ones did pretty well, so we're going for it. This is shiso, which is a Japanese herb. I've yet to cook with it, but it smells delicious. Now we're going to take a tour of our seedling beds. Those are starts that I took from mature plants. There's tomatoes and boysenberries and mint. Little view of our side yard there. We have things growing everywhere we can. You can see we still have quite a variety in here. Tomatoes, hollyhocks, some salvia, artichokes, cardoon. Some of these struggled because these newspaper pots really didn't work that well. It was a failed experiment. But we learned. I moved some things into bigger pots and they're doing much better now. Cut to the front yard and you can see this dill is really taking off. Another great companion plant. It's right next to a calamondin, and we also have some pincushion flowers planted throughout the front yard as the bees love them. Here is our massive peach tree. It's hard to believe it was only planted just over a year ago. We're already getting so many peaches off of it, and these little organza bags have really helped to keep the birds off. Here's a view of the entire front yard.